What is going on, everybody? My name is Jake, and welcome to a new series on the channel. One that is quite different than what we've been doing, but something that I just kind of want to do to kind of change pace here and there. Because, admittedly, grinding away at MLB The Show and franchises can be pretty energy demanding. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, I just kind of want to do this just to again, have a change of pace here and there, and just kind of slowly chip away at it. This isn't going to be like a frequent upload type thing. Maybe, twice a week or whatever it may be. Yeah, just kind of chip away at it, but also have fun with it because this is the game series. When I first started playing video games, I was introduced to this, and it was a major part of my childhood. I still love it to this day, and might as well start from where it began. Even though this is a remake, it's technically a Generation 3 game. We are starting off with Pokemon Fire Red, the Gen 1 remake. And without further ado, let's go ahead and press start and get this going. The various buttons will be explained in the order of their importance. We don't really need to go over this too much. In the world which you are about to enter, you will embark on a grand adventure with you as the hero. Speak to people and check things wherever you go, be it towns, roads, or caves. Gather information and hints from every source. New paths will open you by helping people in need, overcoming challenges, solving mysteries. At times you'll be challenged by others and attacked by wild creatures. Be brave and keep pushing on. Through your adventure, we hope that you will interact with all sorts of people and achieve personal growth. That is our biggest objective. Press the A button and let your adventure begin. Sure thing. Hello there, glad to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People affectionately refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited far and wide by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets, others use them for battling. As for myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. Basically, a veterinarian, right? That's what he would be. First, tell us about yourself. Tell me you're a boy or a girl. I am a boy. Speaking of your name, what is it? I consider just naming him Red, but since it's the first Let's Play, we might as well just name it after myself. My awesome name is Jake. So your name is Jake, correct? This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you both were babies. I don't really know how that would work. How can you be a rival when you're a baby? You can't even conceptualize each other's existence, but it is what it is. In true anime fashion, and I've also always named him Gary. We'll just stick with that. Again, that's what his name is in the anime. If you wanted to go completely accurate, you would name him Blue, but yeah, we'll go with Gary. And yes, Oak is apparently so old that he can't remember his own grandson's name. Your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures of Pokemon awaits. Let's go. And so we are shrunken down to our, 8 16-bit size? I don't even know. First off, before we get too into this, I want to go over the options we'll be playing with. So starting off, this was driving me crazy already during the intro. I'm going to switch the text speed to fast. Battle speed will stay on. I think all that is just shows the animations and stuff of moves. So if you're speedrunning, you would turn that off, but we're obviously not speedrunning. I'm going to change the battle style to set. We're not really going to see this a whole lot early on, but basically all it is on shift, if you have multiple Pokemon and your opponent is about to change, and your opponent is about to send out a new one after you just fainted one of theirs, it'll tell you what they're about to send out. Whereas on set, you don't get that option, and you have to stay out with the current Pokemon you have rather than being able to switch. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. Sound we're not going to change, and then frame, I've always liked the checkered flag type frame, so go ahead and switch it to that. I'd recommend you go up to your PC and withdraw this potion. This is kind of a staple in a lot of the Pokemon games. I don't think it's in all of them, but I would say the vast majority of them have that in there. Go ahead and go downstairs. All boys leave home today. It said so on TV. Professor Oak next door is looking for you. Movie on TV. 4 boys are walking on railroad tracks. Yeah, I don't know what that's referencing. Maybe The Outsiders. I'm sure someone knows. But here we are in lovely Pallet Town. If you try to go straight to the lab, Professor Oak won't be there. What you have to do is go up here, and you want to go out into the world, and you are stopped. It's unsafe. All Pokemon live in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me. So good on Oak for preventing a 10-year-old child from probably being killed in wild grass by all the wild creatures, if we're being real. But this is an E for Everyone game franchise, so obviously that wouldn't happen. But if it were real life, yeah, this would be extremely dangerous to live with such creatures as Pokemon. But anyway, that's taking the fun out of it. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting. Gary, let me think. Yeah, you can't remember anything. He can't remember why Gary's here. He can't remember his name. Also, fun fact, Gary is one of my cat's names, so there's that. In case you gave any sense of, I don't even know. There are 3 Pokemon here. Let's just get back to it. The Pokemon I held and say Pokeballs. When I was younger, I was a serious Pokemon trainer, but now in my old age, I have only these 3 left. You can have one. Go and choose. Gramps, no fair. What about me? Shut up. Be patient. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, as with the start of every Pokemon game, we're given a choice between 3 starters. They're all fire, water, grass types. So it's basically rock, paper, scissors. Children as young as 3 years old, like myself, figured this shit out. But anyway, the starters in this generation. Bulbasaur is actually a grass poison type. He's not a pure grass type. Very good option. All 3 of the stars in Gen 1, I think, are all very good. Bulbasaur has the most type advantages over, the gym leaders and boss fights. Squirtle, I would say, is probably the most well-rounded, and Charmander's the most popular choice. Squirtle's a pure water type, and then obviously Charmander. Fire type to start, and then when it fully evolves, it gains a flying subtype. We can get into all the typing and stuff later on, but as far as this Let's Play goes, really not a hard choice for me. This is the Pokemon I chose the first time ever playing this game. Its full evolution form is my favorite Pokemon, even though it's kind of a cliche. And yeah, I know it's the popular choice, like I mentioned, but I'm going with Charmander. I absolutely love the Charmander line. Like I said, it's the first Pokemon I ever chose. It's the first Pokemon I ever beat a Pokemon game with. That was Pokemon Red. First Pokemon I got to level 100. It goes on. It's my favorite Pokemon, so we're going to go with Charmander for this playthrough. And I know this is kind of boring, but I'm really not big into nicknaming Pokemon. I just never have. But anyway, Gary will take the starter with the type advantage over yours. So if you chose Squirtle, he'll take Bulbasaur. If you chose Bulbasaur, he'll take Charmander. Which, again, nowadays, Pokemon games, you have multiple rivals, but, through the first 4 generations where you only had one true rival, that's always how it would work. Anyway, our Charmander here is a brave nature. Nature was something introduced in Generation 3. Like I said, this is technically a Gen 3 game, even though it's a remake of Gen 1. So natures, they will buff one stat and nerf another. I don't know what each nature does off the top of my head. I actually have my laptop right next to me, so I might as well just search it up really quick. But yeah, so natures can actually really, really help you in the long run. If you get let's say, an electric type that relies a lot on special attacks, and you get a nature that boosts special attack stat, that could actually really help you. Let's see here. Brave raises attack and lowers speed. So, really not that great. However, it's not going to hinder us too much because Charizard, or rather the whole Charmander line, is fast to begin with. For example, just looking at this, like a really bad nature to get would have been like Impish, which increases defense and lowers special attack, or like Jolly, which increases speed and lowers special attack. Those have been really bad for Charmander. So I feel like we got kind of a neutral one. It's not great, it's not horrible, but we can just go on. Can we have that Bulbasaur, please? If a wild Pokemon pairs your Pokemon can battle it. Okay, I guess not. Bulbasaur would actually be a really, really good complement to Charizard, but it would also be a little OP in this game. Wait, Jake, let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on. And so here we go, the first Pokemon battle that a lot of people that played this franchise partook, partaked, I don't know. He's going to send out a Squirtle. Oh, for Pete's sake, so pushy as always. You never had a Pokemon battle before, have you? Actually, I've had a lot throughout my life, but for the sake of this universe, no, I have not. So when trainers pit their Pokemon against each other, yep, so I'm sure nobody really needs this tutorial, especially early on in the game. You're really not doing too much other than just scratching or tackling each other. I always like to lead this rival battle off with a growl. And usually he counteracts with a tail whip, so that could have been a complete waste of time. No, he doesn't, so he does go for tackle. He's only doing 2 damage at a time, so that really puts us at an advantage. And also, our brave nature, we have a naturally higher attack stat to use with Scratch, so right away, we're being set up for success here in the beginning. Now, I could really jinx that if he hits us with a critical hit, but I don't think it would do enough damage to knock us out anyway. And yeah, so nothing too exciting, but we're going to go ahead and easily win the opening battle. It's important that you win this battle because, as you see here, you get 70 experience points, pretty much a free level out of the gate. So if you ever get to a situation where you might lose and you picked up that potion from your PC in your room, definitely use it, because not only is it a tone setter for your adventure, but you also get a free level and a half out of it. So you get a lot more experience in trainer battles than we do from wild Pokemon, which we'll see eventually. But if you win, you earn prize money and your Pokemon will grow. Battle other trainers and make your Pokemon strong. Yes, that is the end goal. I'll make my Pokemon battle, toughen it up. Jake Gramps, smell you later. The iconic tagline. So as soon as you leave, your Pokemon gets automatically healed after that first battle, which is nice. So yeah, it looks like we have a very strong in terms of attack and special attack Charmander, which is not a bad thing by any means. But once you complete that battle and you have a Pokemon by your side, you're free to set off on your own. Here on Route 1. Now, as we encounter Rattata. So I'm just going to do this really quick. I don't normally fight wild Pokemon because you don't get a ton of experience from them and it is a grind. But we'll just go ahead and take out this Rattata real quick as it goes for back-to-back tail whips. And that's actually good for us because we don't have to take any damage and potentially waste a potion or take an excessive Pokemon Center trip later. You don't get nearly as much experience from taking out wild Pokemon, which is why I really don't bother doing so. I'm going to go ahead and talk to this guy working at Pokemon Mart. It's part of a convenient chain selling all sorts of items. Please visit us in Viridian City. I'll give you a sample. And you get another free potion, so you get 2 free potions right out of the gate in this game. But here on Route 1, you can find one of 2 Pokemon, one of which we just knocked out. The other one we're finding right now, a Pidgey. Pidgeys aren't terrible. Rattatas are pretty bad. I'm not going to be using either for this. Like I said, Charmander gains a flying subtype. I can't talk. Charmander gains a flying subtype later in the game, and so the need for a flying Pokemon is negated. Because in this game, Charmander can learn Fly. In the original ones, it did not gain a flying subtype, as far as I know. Or maybe it did, but no, I don't think it did. Because it clearly had wings and was the cover Pokemon, but it couldn't learn Fly. But in this game, it can, so. Anyway, we're up to Viridian City now. If you did some battling on that Route 1 with wild Pokemon to get some levels, there's a Pokemon Center right here you can heal at, but what you want to do is head to the Pokemon Mart like that guy said. Go ahead and head in there. Hey, you came from Pallet Town? You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Can I get you steak to him? And although we are not employed by this Pokemon Mart and the fact that one of their employees is out wandering the wild on Route 1, we are tasked with taking the parcel to Professor Oak. And so you pretty much have to leave Viridian City as soon as you came. And on your way back, you don't really have to worry about wild encounters because you can just hop down these little ledges here. Super, super convenient. As we get later into the game with repels and stuff, I really don't want to have any wild Pokemon encounters on camera. outside of the ones that I plan on catching for the team. But for now, we just kind of have to deal with it. So, like, 30 seconds after leaving, we're already back. Oh, Jake, how's my old Pokemon? Well, it seems we're growing more attached to you. You must be talented as Pokemon trainer. Yes. I am so good that in my 2 minutes of training, it has already embraced me as its master. You have something for me. Deliver the parcel. A lot of speculation as to what that could be. Custom Pokeball. Might be a Master Ball. Could be something else. Who knows? I'm sure someone out there has done the research for it. Almost forgot what you call me for. So apparently memory loss runs in the Oak family bloodline. Oh, right. I have a request for you, too. On the desk there is my invention, the Pokedex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Jake and Gary, take these with you. Can't get detailed data on Pokemon by just seeing them. You must catch them in order to obtain complete data. So here are some tools for catching wild Pokemon. You get 5 Pokeballs. When a wild Pokemon appears, it's fair game. Just throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it. This won't always work, however. Healthy Pokemon can escape. You have to be lucky. Okay, now he's going to reminisce on the good old days and how he couldn't amount to anything as a Pokemon trainer. And now he has to rely on 2 10-year-olds to fulfill his dream for him. This is a great undertaking in Pokemon history. Yes, indeed it is. Leave it all to me. I hate to say it, but you won't be necessary for this. I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one, Jake. Haha, don't bother coming around to my place after this. Even though you have yet to beat me at a battle yet, and just because you said that, I'm going to go visit your sister. I usually skip this part. Nah, I'm not gonna. Nope. We're not getting into that in a child's game. But yeah, so if you want to, it's not super necessary, especially in Kanto, which is the region we're in. It's a pretty straight line journey, but and there's town maps in every Pokemon Center. But in case you want one for your convenience, you can go see Daisy Oak, and she will give you a town map. And then just pop open the bag. There were potions, a Pokeballs, town map right here. And as you would suggest, it just shows the beautiful Kanto region in all of its glory, at least in map form. Anyway, so now that we're going on this amazing journey, we should probably go tell our mom, right? She's definitely going to be concerned for us, right? Hey, Mom, I'm going on this amazing adventure. Oh, you should take a quick rest. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot of dialogue with the parents, at least in the early games. It's kind of just like, oh, you're home. I haven't seen you in years. Oh, you're the Pokemon champion. Well, you better take a nap and then get back to it. So, although she does gift us the running shoes later in the game, so that's nice. But anyway, now that we have our Pokeballs, you don't have to just fight and knock out wild Pokemon. You are free to catch them. But like I said earlier, I'm not going to waste my time catching a Rattata, or a Pidgey for that matter. Even though I don't think Pidgey's horrible. Rattata is, unfortunately. Well, it's viable early on in the games, but once you get past like the 3rd or 4th gym, it becomes pretty useless. Now, hopefully we can keep our wild encounters to a minimum, especially once we get to Viridian Forest. Okay. Pidgey, I don't need another flying type. Leave me alone. Thank you. Okay. Actually, I know someone in this game that'll make great use out of you, Pidgey, so don't you worry. It's not me, but it will be someone else. So if we're back here in Viridian City, the one thing I always do is I stop back at the Pokemon Mart, and now that we don't have to deliver goods for this dude, we can actually buy items. I usually just like to get 5 of all the like essential medicines here, just to get a good little inventory to start the game off. And then before we continue forward, I keep wanting to hit B to run, and We don't have the running shoes yet. We'll get that after we get the first gym badge. If you head up this way, there is another item on the ground next to this small tree. It's another potion. In the original games, you actually have to click on the tree, and it'll give you the option for a free potion. Well, not option. It'll give you a free potion. But in this game, it's there on the ground. It's not hidden. If we try to progress further... Well, now, I completely forgot to do this when we got to Viridian City in the first place. This dude, if you try to go up further before you take Oak's parcel back, he'll be lying dead in the road and be complaining. Evidently, he's hungover because he needs coffee and he's lying in the road sick. So, but now that he's had his coffee, he's all good to go. What was that red box you have? So you're working on your Pokedex. We'll give you a word of advice whenever you catch a Pokemon. A Pokedex automatically updates its data. If you don't know how to catch a Pokemon, I suppose I better show you. I guess technically, he's correct because we have not caught other Pokemon, but magically a Weedle appears out of thin air. And this old man will give you a basic tutorial on how to catch Pokemon, although it's not really a great tutorial because he didn't have Pokemon to actually attack the Weedle with and weaken it, or put a status infliction on it, which makes it easier to catch. But naturally, tutorial wise, he catches a full health Pokemon on the first try, so good for you, guy. Good for you. That was educational, was it not? Sure, I guess. We got the Teachy TV. This was something new introduced in these games. As you said, it'll teach you about the basics of being a Pokemon trainer. All it is just, if we pop it open here, it's just very basic tutorials. How to battle, what are status problems, type matchups, and another how to catch a Pokemon tutorial. But with that out of the way, we can now progress on to Viridian Forest. You may be wondering if I'm going to catch a Pokemon, because the first gym in this game is, everyone knows, is Brock, who uses Rock-type Pokemon. And we are weak to that with our Charmander. So, again, if we chose Bulbasaur or Squirtle, we can easily take out Brock with just ourselves. But, since we have a type disadvantage, it'll be a little bit harder. But I have a plan to that. Let's see. Okay. If you click on the tree here, you can get a free antidote. That's something I learned from playing through this game a few times. Nope, not in this patch of grass. I thought it was in there. Yeah, it's up this way. Yeah, so I'm just going to thug it out with Charmander for now, because Charmander does learn a move eventually that is actually super effective against rock types. And the tried and true method when you start with Charmander in this game is to pick up a Mankey just outside of Viridian City, which I've done almost every time I played this game, like 1,000, whether it was a completed playthrough or not, I always catch Mankeys out of the gate. And I just want to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to catch one off camera just for, just in case, the gym, or I'm not super confident in going into it with just Charmander. I can catch it and train up a Mankey so that it learns a fighting type move, just so that we're able to, get through the gym and then we can get rid of it. But for now, I'm just going to go with just Charmander. Again, it learns a move at level 13 that's actually super effective against rock types. So we'll see if that can get us by as we continue to run into wild Pokemon. We've ran into almost every encounter you can have in here. We've Weedle, Caterpie, Kakuna. You can find Metapods, which is the evolved version of Caterpie. You can find Pikachu as well, although it's a very rare occurrence rate. I think only like 5 or 10%. But anyway, now we get our first case of a Pokemon battle that is not our rival Gary. Bug catcher Rick. He's got a level 6 Weedle, which is equal to our Charmander. Charmander learns Ember at level 7, which is super effective on bug types. And naturally, I get poisoned with the very first Poison Sting move used against us, so that's awesome. And somehow the Weedle's faster than us, so... Jeez, I might have to use a potion. Holy crap. Okay, use a string shot, even though it's already faster. Our speed must be equal to one another because we were faster the first turn, and then the second one he went first. Please do not critical hit. Please do. Okay. Because if we got critical hit there, that would have put us in kind of a dire situation. So I'm getting more run from a level 6 Weedle than I did from our rival. Although Weedle does have a stab attack with the Poison Sting and it inflicted poison on us. So kind of a advantage there. And there Caterpie, who's much less threatening because it does not know any moves that could put a status infliction on us. But I'm going to go ahead and use one of the potions. As you see, we got 4 free potions right out of the gate in this. So that's definitely helpful. But also with the 5 we bought earlier. Another reason I like to stock up, because Viridian Forest is a ton of Pokemon that can status, well, not a ton of Pokemon that can status inflict you, really only one, but you run into so many Weedles that you're more than likely going to get poisoned at some point. And with that, Charmander is up to level 8 already. So now that we know Ember and we're gaining levels, we're going to be able to sweep through the rest of Viridian Forest no problem. But that first battle gave us a little bit of unexpected trouble. I forgot in this game that when you use an item on it, it has like a little animation to it. Anyway, now we can progress further. Viridian Forest, no matter who you started with as your starter, obviously it's easiest if you have Charmander because it knows, Ember and can just sweep through everything. But even if you started with Bulbasaur and like catch a Spearow or a Pidgey and have a flying type move, or Squirtle, same thing, or even without that, you'll be able to get through Viridian Forest pretty easily. And it's just a great area to, get some early levels for your Pokemon right away. Again, normally I have a Mankey with me, but I decided to switch it up for this playthrough. So Charmander is going to get a lot of levels here early on, and then eventually when we catch another Pokemon, we'll have to do some work to even it out. But for now, he is our sole focus. And yeah, 3 Embers is all it takes. And that bug catcher did not stand a chance, and we're up to double digits now, level 10. The one thing I'm worried about for the gym battle is based off of our nature. I'm kind of worried we might be slower than some of Brock's rock types, which is saying a lot because rock is usually like, in general, not all rock types are super slow, but most of them are very slow and bulky. I really hope our Charmander doesn't get outsped by like a Geodude, because that could make it even more difficult, but we'll see. As per usual, we're just gonna Ember right through this bug trainer. As far as trainer battles, so these ones in the Viridian Forest I'm fine with showing just because, it's so early in the game and can kind of talk about how this series will work. But for the most part, unless they're, unavoidable or essential trainer battles, I'll try to keep a lot of them off camera just so that it's not just, oversaturated with them. Um, and again, eventually we'll get access to repel, so going through like dungeon areas like, Viridian Forest, for example, will be a lot smoother. For now, we just kind of have to deal with the random encounters and trainer battles. That last trainer battle we did, I missed for the longest time. I never knew that trainer battle was up there until I had played the game for a while. But actually, none of the trainer battles in Viridian Forest are required except for the last one. So if you really wanted to, if you're just relying on battling wild Pokemon, or maybe you started with Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and you're that confident in your ability to beat the gym without fighting trainers in Viridian Forest, you can speed through this in like 3 minutes. But again, I like to do trainer battles a lot more than wild encounters because you get a lot more experience, and I don't know, if I spent time fighting wild Pokemon, I would probably lose my mind. So you see we're level 12. I mentioned at level 13 we learn a move that's super effective on rock types. So getting close to that, which is obviously very good. Probably won't get it from the Viridian Forest, but um, there's a trainer battle before the gym battle, and then there's also an optional rival battle we can go back and do, which I plan on doing in this part before we end it. Give me a Pikachu. Nope. Got the right color, but not the right Pokemon. Pikachu's also a good option for Charmander because it covers the water type weakness. But I've used Pikachu a lot before. Well, not really a lot. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest Pikachu fan. It's not a terrible Pokemon, but there's other electric types I prefer much more. What's the hurry? Why is the rush? So this guy is actually the only required fight in this entire forest, and he's only got one Pokemon. A level 9 Weedle. And we just one-shot. So, again, Viridian Forest, definitely not an imposing dungeon, especially if you start with Charmander. Once you get Ember, you can pretty much sweep through everything. And yeah, so before we head back to Viridian City, we're going to get stopped on the final patch of grass by a Caterpie. I'm sorry, Caterpie. I don't hate you, but I don't want you on my team. You go find a home with one of the many ubiquitous bug catchers in this universe. So if we continue up this way, we get a small continuation of Route 2. And then we're here in Pewter City. So this is obviously, home of the first gym. Anyone who's played Pokemon knows about Pewter City, the first gym, or if you watch anime. How much money do I have, actually? I have enough money to buy one potion and one Pokemon, so it's not really worth buying anything. But I just wanted to get here to show where we'll be in the next part. But before we end things off, I mentioned a little bit earlier about an optional rival battle outside of Viridian City, so I want to take the time to backtrack and do that, and also just while we're backtracking, talk a little bit more about how I plan on doing this series. So as you see here, we're kind of covering a lot in the first part. Again, I don't plan on uploading this super often. It's just kind of I love these game series. I love Pokemon. But it's more so just a change of pace from, some of the, the MLB The Show stuff. And then, college football 25 is coming out in 2 months. And I know for a fact I'm going to get that. And I already pre-ordered it and everything. And I'm sure I'll do some kind of series on that. And so, these games are just a nice change of pace. It's kind of a nostalgic thing to it as well. So, again, I'll just kind of slowly chip away at it. But it'll be, not super long episodes, but, probably half hour, 40 minutes or so. That way, if I'm not uploading a whole lot, I'm still able to get through, the main story of these games without it taking, 50 episodes, or something like that. As far as this game, the main story is pretty cut and dry. We'll get into that later. Later Pokemon games, the stories, evolve, so to speak. But, obviously this being the first generation Pokemon game, the story's going to be very bare bones. And I like it, the simplistic nature of it. But anyway, moral of the story is, expect an upload 2 or so a week of this, and kind of covering, a decent amount of stuff each episode. Back to Viridian City now. I don't think I've used a Pokemon Center yet, which I don't really need to. We're at full health. Our moves are fine. We still have 15 moves left of Ember. But anyway, a couple things I want to do out here. So you can do this rival battle either now or before you go to the Elite Four. I like to do it now, especially with Charmander. We need the levels in preparation for the gym battle, but if you start with one of the other starters and you don't feel like doing this, you can wait until, the end of the game to do it. But Um, Out in this route is where you can find the aforementioned Mankey. Um, Again, this is a good Pokemon to have if you start with Charmander because it is a fighting type, so it'll be super effective on rock types, which is the first gym. Unfortunately, I'm level 12, so I'm a little scared if I attack it, it's going to knock it out. So I'm going to throw a Pokeball at it with full health, and just like the old man, we catch it first try. So there we go. I'm going to catch it, not for use on the team. I'll probably train it up a little bit off camera, just in case, I'm not feeling great about the gym battle. I'll just train it up to a point to where, it learns a fighting type move that way. Worst case scenario, if we have to, it's a lonely nature. Now I feel really bad because we're not going to use it and it's a lonely nature. That's actually very depressing. Just for fun, let's look up. Lonely increases attack and lowers defense. So, again, kind of neutral. The raised attack is actually really good, but Mankey's already kind of frail, so it kind of sucks to lower defense. But, well, you won't be lonely for now, guy. We'll have you a part of the team. Anyway, if you walk a couple steps over this way, you'll encounter Gary again. Hey, Jake. You're off to the Pokemon League. Forget about it. You probably don't have any badges, do you? The guard won't let you through without them. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? Oh, they did. They certainly did, Gary. And so for the second time in 25 minutes, we're taking on Gary. We're already 1-0 on him. As you see, he has caught a Pidgey. I'm just going to go right at Pidgey with Ember. And there we go. And we get the level up. And so that will allow us to learn Metal Claw. So, again, Metal Claw is going to be our saving grace. Hopefully, at least in the gym battle. I can't remember if Steel's weak on water. Yeah, it is. Okay. As someone who's played this game series a ton, I tend to forget some of the type advantages and disadvantages at times. I really just need a refresher on it. Now, I believe your rival starter should know a stab attack at this point. What I mean by stab attack, I mean most veteran players would know, but just stands for same type attack bonus. So it's if the move type you're using matches the Pokemon's type that's using it, it gets a 1.5 damage multiplier. So for example, Ember being a fire type gets that damage multiplier, so it's a stab attack. I think Squirtle knows Water Gun at this point, but I guess we'll never know. That fight, if you chose Bulbasaur, can actually be a little bit tough because Pidgey should know a flying type move, which is super effective on grass, and then obviously the starter should know, which would have been Charmander in that case, would know Ember. But since we are pretty good state levels wise, we're able to completely sweep through Gary once again, no problem. I heard the Pokemon League is crawling with tough trainers. I have to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and get a move on. Brother, I have beaten you twice already, and we've been on an adventure for all of 5 seconds, but whatever. As you said, or as he said, if you continue on this way, there's a little more grass. There's a Pokemon League front gate, but we don't have any badges, so we couldn't even get past the first checkpoint, so no point in wasting time with that. Let's go ahead and hop back down the ledge and make our way back to Viridian City, and we'll end this off by healing up our Pokemon for the first time. And then I'll backtrack to Pewter City off camera to start the next part. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for this part. We got a lot done for the first episode, which I'm glad we're able to do that. It went very, very smoothly. That was about as good as an opener as I could have asked for. But yeah, so again, we'll slowly chip away at these, and who knows, maybe the uploads will come more frequently just based on my schedule and just how other stuff is going. But yeah, I'm excited to be doing this. Like I said, I love these games. Super, super huge part of my childhood. And again, it's just a nice change of pace from the usual stuff I'll be posting on my channel. So Charmander up to level 13 in the first part. We'll see. Hopefully Metal Claw is enough to get us through the first gym. If not, I'll probably train up Mankey a little bit off camera, get him to a point to where he knows a fighting type move. That way we have a last resort type thing that we can rely on to get us through the gym battle. Because I'm going to attempt to get through this whole game without losing a battle. I always try to do that in Pokemon games. And I've been able to do it a handful of times across some of the, multiple games in the franchise. But, so yeah, I don't want to be taking L's here. So I'll train up Mankey a little bit. But again, I'll do that off camera because it's just going to be wild Pokemon training. And I don't want to bore you guys. So anyway, speaking of boring, guys, I don't want to keep rambling. So that'll do it for this part. We got the opening stuff out of the way. Got to Pewter City. So next part we'll do the gym battle, and then we'll make our way to Mount Moon, which is the next dungeon, and a more imposing dungeon. It's not a hard dungeon by any means, but definitely more imposing than Viridian Forest. So yeah, we'll do the gym battle in Pewter City, and then we'll make our way to Mount Moon. Probably won't go through Mount Moon next part, just because that takes a while. We'll just focus primarily on the gym battle. So yep, that'll be the plan. So again, good start to this series. I'm excited to be doing it. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time for more Pokemon Fire Red. Goodbye. Have a good day.